Hey guys, Thunder E here and welcome to our unboxing and mini review of the LG Gram 15. Last year we took a look at the LG Gram 13. Both of them are in the same gram family, which means they all weigh less than a kilogram. And of course we will weigh this to check it out. So this machine here has some pretty cool updated specs. It's got of course a 6th gen processor, 8 gigs of RAM maximum. This is a Core i7 processor, by the way. We've got 512 gigabytes of internal storage via SSD, and it retails for $1,500. So let's take a look at what we have within the packaging and what we have here. So of course you do have your standard power cable, which connects to the power brick itself. That's a nice smaller form factor power brick. I like that they're going with some of these size power bricks and not the humongous ones. We have here a USB Type-C Ethernet cable port, so that's pretty cool. USB Type-C is used for something that takes of course a lot of bandwidth, which makes a lot of sense. Now we have a champagne gold LG Gram 15, and I have to tell you from first touch, this thing is super light. It's really a light device. So we have our scale out, and we're going to actually place it on the scale and give you a good idea of how much it weighs. So it should be 2.2 pounds according to LG, and boom, yes, it is 2.2 pounds. It's super light, and I like that about it. So that's the first thing you notice. Now, the next thing you notice are the ports. It's got a micro SD card slot, it's got a headphone jack, USB 3.0, and a USB 2.0 port, as well as a lock button, all on the right hand side. Now, if we bank around to the left hand side, you can see here we've got another USB 3.0 power port, HDMI, and USB Type-C port, and of course you've got some indicators for your battery as well as your hard drive. So you do have that. I'm glad they have a USB Type-C port included. You also got feet underneath to give it a better placement on a table or flat surface. You can have it raised so you don't actually feel that touching, the heat from that touching your lap or whatever the case may be. Now the keyboard itself is still similar to what you had from last year. It's got that very flat style keys. They lay really flat. Of course, this is a 6-row keyboard, and one thing I will note is I haven't seen any indicator of backlit compatibility for this keyboard. It's not final, but we'll find out in our full review, but I don't think it has one, which is kind of a bummer. Now, it's still got 512 gigs of RAM, and the camera, the webcam, is actually placed at the bottom hinge, so that actually gives a very interesting location for a webcam. I think you find a lot of people find it just different placement, so of course that might change the way you use the webcam in all intents and purposes. Now we've got a 15-inch 1080p display. It's not a high resolution, but the display is still pretty sharp and vibrant. What I like about it is the thinner bezels. It's not a ridiculously thin bezel, but you can see the edges, the bezel is thin enough, giving you much more viewing space in here, which is actually pretty nice. It's not a touchscreen, so for those of you who are looking for a touchscreen, you are not going to get it from this device. Now the trackpad is pretty smooth and operates pretty fast, and I just want to give you a quick look at that camera again. So as you mentioned, the camera hinge is right there below the LG logo, so of course the placement, the angle of the camera becomes a little different. So you can see here it's looking up towards me, and if you want something a little bit more centralized, you probably have to bring your screen forward a little bit more. So that gives you a different feel and take on this. Overall, I like the fact that this device here has a Core i7 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 512 internal storage SSD, of course Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi AC, all that fun stuff in there. We're going to spend some more time with this device, at least a week or so, giving us just a full depth and breadth of what this device can do, and we'll give you our full thoughts. But so far it's pretty light. It's a really light device, and it's also packed with a bunch of specs. So if you guys have any questions or any comments, let us know. Otherwise, don't forget to like this video, share this video, and favorite this video. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, bottom right hand corner of the screen, or down in the description below. This is Thunder E saying thank you, and always enjoy your entertainment.